DATV, and the Greater Dayton Area League of Women Voters present Meet the Candidates, your chance to learn about the candidates running for office in the November election.
Hello, I'm Sandy Williams with the League of Women Voters for the Greater Dayton Area. I'm here today with candidates running for the office of mayor of the city of Trotwood. There are two candidates running for one open seat in this position. Those candidates are Mary Ann McDonald and Yvette Page. First of all, what we'd like to do is start our interviews with the candidates telling us a bit about themselves and why they chose to serve in this position. So, Mary, could we please start with you?
Yes. My name is Mary McDonald, and I am the very proud mayor of the city of Trotwood. I've served on the city council in the city of Trotwood for the last 14 years, which have been exciting years. We've had interesting experiences during that time, but we are seeing ourselves moving forward in really great ways. So I'm excited to, again, continue my work as mayor of the city of Trotwood and looking forward to a greater and a brighter city of Trotwood, Ohio.
All right, thank you so much. All right, and Yvette, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself and how it is you came to run for this position?
Yes. Good morning, Trotwood citizens. My name is Yvette Page, and presently I am on the City Council in Ward 2. I represent that district. I moved to Trotwood 41 years ago. I'm presently owning a home there. I raised my 3 children there, and I'm active in my community. Here recently, though, I have been exposed, and I am a survivor of the tornado that hit our city. I'm running for this position for the voice of the people of Trotwood and to make sure that they get the communication and the help that they need in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now when we do these questions, I'm going to alternate between you two. And that means that because we only have 2, I'm going to have to start with the same person sometimes for, end with one and start with another. So our first question is this. Yvette, many of our local cities in Montgomery and Greene counties were hit with tornadoes over the Memorial Day weekend. Trotwood was among the areas hardest hit by these storms. Do you feel your community had an effective disaster plan to meet the needs for your community? And what lessons might be learned from what happened and what might be changed in the future?
I think faced with that F4 tornado, and we were hit by 3 of them, and I was in the midst of all of that chaos, I thought what we had in place was the best we could do. For the future, though, we needed more help in getting to the people in a timely manner. For 2 weeks, at least for 1 week, we were without water in most of the area. 2 weeks without electricity. Imagine that you're going home every night. And some people went home with no homes at all. So what I would like to see us do is to get a concrete plan, have someone in come to train us how to get additional generators so people can have lights and water and get things done. And also, I think that we should have the communication open wide enough and transparent enough that people feel comfortable even today coming back to us as city leaders and getting things done.
All right, okay, thank you. And then Mary, same question for you. Many of our local cities in Montgomery and Greene counties were hit with tornadoes over the Memorial Day weekend. Trotwood was among the areas hardest hit by these storms. Do you feel your community had an effective disaster plan to meet the needs of the community? What are the lessons to be learned, and what would you do differently?
Well, I absolutely feel that Trotwood had a perfect disaster plan. We actually had 4 weeks prior to the tornado had gone over our disaster plan. So all of our organization had gone through the disaster training that was necessary to be prepared for such an event like that. I was a part of the very first night being there on the scene and watched our fire, our police, and our outside sources come into play. And each one of them came in and they did the job that was necessary. You know, the disaster really was something that none of us would have ever expected to live through. But having lived through that, what I did find is each and every entity, outside, veteran, DP&L, everyone did the work that was necessary. And each one of them shared that this was something that they had never experienced before. The level of damage that was done to our infrastructure was huge. And it took some time to get ourselves back into play, but we in fact did, and we continue to do what's necessary to make sure that our citizens get the needs met, and we will continue to do that from this time on.
Okay. Trotwood recently lost their last remaining grocery store. Currently, GFS is trying to fill the gap for residents, but where in the long-term solution for attracting and maintaining grocery stores for the Trotwood? Where are we with that?
Well, currently, City Manager, myself, and Deputy City Manager met with Michael Colbert, the County Administrator, and they have committed to working with the City of Trotwood in any way that they can to help us to incentivize getting a new grocery store within our city. We continue to work with GFS. They have a model in Detroit, Michigan, of where they have downsized one of their grocery stores that was in a community much like ours, that was a food desert, and actually became a regular grocery store. So we continue with the conversation with them because they have been in our community when times were good, and they've been in our community when we had some challenging times. And these are, in fact, challenging times. But for the mom and pop grocery store, it's so very, very difficult because larger grocery stores are really putting a hard in on them. And our work with GFS, because they are national, we believe that they would be the first place that we would want to have the conversation, although we have talked to many grocers and asked them to come into our community because they are already there in our community and they have a footprint there. We would like to help them to be something more than just serving restaurants. We believe that they have the opportunity, and our citizens are already recognizing, as they've already downsized various of their items, to make sure that our citizens get some of their immediate needs met. So that's our first place, but again, we continue each and every day looking to get a grocery store that would be willing to locate within our city.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yvette, same question. Okay. Let me just restate it for you. Unfortunately, let's see, Trotwood lost their last remaining grocery store. Currently, GFS is trying to fill the gap for residents, but what is the long-term solution for attracting and maintaining grocery stores in the Trotwood community?
The main thing to attract anyone to Trotwood is that we've got to show pride in what we want. When Jim Davis left the city, it was devastating to all citizens, especially those constituents that depended on him delivering their groceries to them on a daily basis. The food desert is what we are now. With opportunities that we had previously of keeping him in town, devastates me now to just seem that it's a minor setback. But this is what I've set out to do. With the industry that I was in for 38 years, I have contacts with Dayton that does distributing in the city, and also with Chad Diggs, who is a food producer that will come to, and I have talked to these guys and sat across the table from them one-on-one, and they are willing to come to Trotwood.
Oh, wow.
And they are willing to come to Trotwood, and they're willing to do everything to help us to restore what we need, the basic necessity of life. It's food. I plan on continuing that and continue the conversations. I've also reached out to other grocers that are in the area, More for Less Food, where I know the different owners, and a lot of grocery store owners have come to me and asked me what they could do to help. And I plan to continue those conversations and also get them to come in and help us.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And Yvette,
Okay.
for our second question, we're starting with you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Unfortunately, the city of Dayton experienced a mass shooting in early August of this year. As mayor of your community, how can you or would you prepare for the active shooter at a community event like a parade, a festival, or a concert?
I think the most important thing is communication. We have got to have some type of emergency position put in the city of Trotwood where we can get to the residents immediately when things, an alert system to tell them, hey, something's going on. That's what I would want personally. In order to get that communication on, we can use all type of venues. We have a brand new cultural arts center that we can start now and letting people know they can come out there and that we would have things for them to learn, how to take cover, how to protect yourself, where to go in an immediate response. And I think those things should be put in place. And it should be etched in stone that everyone, not just a few, are given the information, but everyone in Trotwood. There are a lot of people that are not streaming savvy or on the internet. A lot of my constituents are older. So if we have to canvass and knock on doors and give them the procedure and give them what they need to know to make them safe, because as leaders, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to serve above self and making sure that everyone is taken care of. And so we need to put that in place and have it active.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Mary, it's the same question for you. I'm just going to restate it again. Sure. Unfortunately, the city of Dayton experienced a mass shooting in early August of this year. As mayor of your community, how can you or will you prepare for an active shooter at community events such as parades, festivals, and concerts?
Well, I'm extremely proud to say that I gave probably one of the very first active shooter events within the city of Trotwood, where we had so many citizens that came out to actually learn what an active shooter is, how that goes about. I did that at St. Margaret's Church some years ago. And then I started to see more communities take that on. But I'm very, very proud that we have a CALEA certified, nationally certified police department, and they continue each and every day to update the opportunities to make sure that they are active in the community, that people know that they're there, and they continue to serve us with the level of excellence. But from my office, it's a continuation of the conversations that we always have with our citizens and letting them know that we are here for them and letting them know that we are first line for them to come to when there is a need.
Okay. All right. In closing, we'd like to provide each candidate with time for a closing statement. We allow 1 minute for this. And what we'd like to do is start with Mary then.
Sure. Again, I'm Mary McDonald, the proud mayor of the city of Trotwood, Ohio. We have had many, many accomplishments over the last 4 years. When I took over office as mayor of the city of Trotwood, we were virtually on the verge of bankruptcy. We had lost businesses, we had lost dollars, and literally now we're looking at, in our unencumbered reserves, upwards towards $3 million and many, many new businesses. Over 25 new businesses have located within the city of Trotwood over this last 4 years. And I'm extremely excited about that simply because what we did was we created an atmosphere of working together. We created an atmosphere for people to want to be a part of the city of Trotwood. And we've also reached across all party lines and made sure that we were working with everyone from the state, the federal, and the local level who is willing to work with us to move our city forward. That is what it takes to move a city forward. You cannot limit yourself in any way in terms of the leadership of a community. And the city of Trotwood is made up of 24,500 very, very great people, and we're excited about moving it forward.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary.
Thank you.
And Yvette, would you like to provide us with a closing statement?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Trotwood citizens, I am now serving 2 years on your council. And I've seen us when we've been up, and I see us now going through. The tornado has devastated our city. We cannot now stand on the laurels of what has happened, but we need to move forward on what we're going to do. As a citizen, I know what you're going through with the tornado. Right now, you're in the midst of fighting with your contractor and your insurance company. You have no idea when you're going to get back in your home, and you only have 2 years left to make that decision. I've been there with you. I understand what you're going through. You need a leader in office that has felt your pain and continually feeling your pain. And I'm that candidate. I plan on leading you to 2020 and beyond. We're going to be better than we were. I've always hashtagged Trotwood as Tenacious Trotwood, But what I want you to do on November 5th is to turn the page. I'm going to be your next chapter for Trotwood, and I appreciate your vote then. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Yvette. Thank you. And thank you both for participating today. I really appreciate it, and good luck in your campaigns.
Thank you so much for your time.
The League of Women Voters encourages all candidates to run an issues-based campaign. Our goal is to educate the voting public and strengthen our elective political process. We encourage everyone to vote on Tuesday, November the 5th. The ever-popular League Voters Guide will be available in libraries and at your doorstep the week of October the 14th. Whether you vote early or absentee or at the polls, it's your vote that matters, and your vote is what makes democracy work. Thank you so much from the League.